National Latina Institute for Reproductive Health was founded in 1994. We started because we found that there was a need to have a Latina-focused organization that really looked at the issues of reproductive health care of Latinas, their families, and their communities. The mission at the time was to ensure that Latinas had a voice when it comes to reproductive health care. The organization was based in Washington, D.C., so there was definitely an opportunity to talk to policymakers and also do some work on the federal level. Ever since then, the organization has been committed to organizing communities of Latinas around the country.
You know, the origins of the Latina Institute, I think it was so vitally important when it came around. There wasn't really a voice for Latinas in the reproductive health or rights movement. Having an organization that could really be the voice for Latinas and working on our behalf around the country and in Washington, D.C., doing really important federal policy really was a historical moment, I think, in the reproductive health rights and justice movement.
For Latina Institute, the idea of roots, voices, and power really reflects who we are. We have to always think back to our roots, where we came from, who we represent, our culture. Our voices are really thinking about all the people that we represent. The Latino community is tremendously diverse. We have many different perspectives. People come from different countries. They're in the U.S. for different amounts of years. Some are new immigrants, but we really need to reflect the diversity of voices.
The National Advocacy Weekend is so important because I get to connect with other land members. We get to meet with people from across the country. It makes us feel less isolated in New York, and we actually make much more connections, learn from each other, take advocacy tips, and we get to hear about what the problems are facing our communities.
The fact that we connect with other members from other lands, but also gives us the opportunity in LORD to be able to restructure or re-energize our work.
Es bastante importante el fin de semana porque esto nos ayuda mucho a seguir aprendiendo y seguir creciendo, desarrollando nuestras habilidades y poderlo llevar a nuestras comunidades, nuestras mujeres.
For me, the quinceañera means a lot because in our culture, it symbolizes the growth from a young woman to an adult. And as a young organization, we've done a tremendous amount with very little resources, and now that we hit the 15-year mark, we've actually grown quite a bit. Our staff is larger, we have an office in DC, we moved to a new space in New York City, so it really shows a transition that's very appropriate to celebrate our 15-year anniversary.
I'm really excited about the National Latina Institute having their quinceañera or turning 15. I really think it speaks to the importance of this organization. I think that when an organization has such an intrinsic value to a community, their longevity is one of the ways in which you can measure it.
National Latina Institute remains committed to ensuring that all Latinas, their families, and their communities have the fundamental human right to reproductive health care. And we do this through national policy advocacy, through organizing and community mobilization, and more recently through research. It's one of our core principles to ensure that all of the work we do around reproductive health care is rooted in social justice and a human rights framework. And this is what is now known after many years as reproductive justice.